A very strong statement came from your father just a few days ago that when he was battling, when he was on the hospital bed, that was the time when instead of praying for him, people were hatching plans and conspiracies against him. Do you feel bitter about it?
I do. As a son, I do. As a party worker, I do. As a minister in a cabinet that actually earned praise for COVID management for its work, I do. And the inaccessible part for my father is true for this, because around November end, he had to undergo a surgery for his spine. And, I keep saying this again, that because of him, we got to know that politicians have a spine. Otherwise, a lot of us have been blamed for not having a spine and moving whichever way we want to. But that was a tough time for us as a family, because I was in Scotland for COP26. We won an award for Maharashtra's climate action as well. And suddenly there was a second operation that he had to undergo. And those were tough times, because after that surgery, he couldn't move much. He was not very mobile for a long time, for at least 2 or 3 months. And even when I went to meet him, I had to undergo 3 RT-PCRs and 3 rapid tests before I could meet him, because that was the situation and that was the bubble that he was actually operating through. That was the same time that COVID numbers were actually shooting high in Maharashtra. Coming down from Scotland, going right to the hospital after these 3 tests and seeing him in not a very, very mobile way. And he was obviously, on his hospital bed. And he couldn't meet many people. He could just meet us in a bubble. And we couldn't speak about this as the first family of Maharashtra outside, because if we are seen to be somewhere, demoralized, what will happen to our state? So I was managing the party affairs, also passing on messages to the government, and through him, he was on his WhatsApp available all the time. He was having VCs with all the district collectors, ministers, MLAs for COVID management. But this was a time where these guys, the 40 gaddars, were actually conspiring against my father. And, as a son, as an MLA, as a minister in a responsible government, I think that was something that is not expected of. I've seen betrayals before, but I've never seen a betrayal of this low level ever before.
Let me take this to...
Sorry? Unforgivable? Is that unforgivable?
I mean, it's not about forgiving or not forgiving. It's about your morality. It's about how you are as a human. In Marathi, we have a term for it, vritti. This brings your heart out. This shows what you are made of. And for someone to ditch your own leader, someone who's given you a political identity, someone who's giving you party tickets, ministries that have never been shared before by the chief minister, to behave like that with someone who's given you everything in a time which is the toughest on him, it just brings your heart to the people, shows you your aura to the people. And if you don't belong to him, what loyalty will you have to the people and the state?